Greetings. I wanted to make a quick video on Sparkle's Light Cone, Earthly Escapade, just before you go crazy with your pulls. This is mainly for F2P and low spenders. Firstly, I just want to clarify that it is indeed her best light cone option. That's the purpose of signature light cones, after all. To truly assess its value, we must think practically and weigh different options. Sparkle's Light Cone passively provides your entire team 10% crit rate and 28% crit damage with absolute permanent uptime. 48% team-wide crit value is really damn good. It also provides herself 32% crit damage, which means her skill grants another 7.7% crit damage to the ally. While all of this sounds really good, is it actually good? The answer is yes. Improving the consistency of your characters is always good. But more importantly, is it worth your jades? My short answer is no, as the crit damage buff makes it a diluted stat stick. The 10% crit rate is where most of the value is found in her light cone. This is because of the nature of how you will build your DPS and Sparkle's kit. A well-built DPS will often have 150 to 200% crit damage built. A well-built Sparkle will often have the same range for crit damage. If we take the lower end of this, the DPS will have 231% crit damage. If we apply her light cone, the DPS will have 266.7% crit damage. This results in only a 15% improvement in crit DMG, and so its value is greatly diminished, which is why the crit rate has much more priority at this point, and even more so the better your DPS and Sparkle are built. Also, her light cone is heavily tailor-made, meaning other units cannot utilize this light cone even half as effectively, if you ever wanted to slap it elsewhere. With only her own light cone effects considered, I would argue that it isn't worth to pull, as you should be thinking what else you could be getting if you allocate your jades elsewhere. The closest thing you can compare it to while her banner is up is her E1, which grants a permanent 40% attack after your first ult. While attack will also yield moderately diminishing returns, it still raises her ceiling more than her S1, and is more valuable for two reasons. 1. While it will usually cost more, you should weigh both the Eidolon and the alternative light cone against her signature light cone. The Harmony Path has a stacked arsenal of light cones. Her best alternatives are S1 But the Battle Isn't Over, S5 Past and Future, Dance Dance Dance. An S5 Planetary Rendezvous is passable for Mono Quantum 2. 2. It brings you closer to her best value Eidolon, her E2, which you should aim for at some point. Team-wide passive 20% defense ignore with practically 100% uptime is extremely good for a Harmony unit. Honestly, I can't really think of situations where her light cone excels except for with Fu Xuan, where you are passively granting 22% crit rate, which is quite absurd as you easily hit the sweet spot. But Star Rail is a turn-based game where you can easily restart in Mirror of Chaos, so does the 10% crit rate really matter? Alternatively, if you don't need a cracked Sparkle for now, then my recommendation is that you should just save and use an inferior light cone option. She is already easily among the most competitive units at E0S0, especially for quantum teams. And let's not forget that Acheron is around the corner. Need I say more? This is just my opinion on how worth her light cone is for your jades. Of course, you should make your own decision. Thanks for watching and good luck with your pulls.